Yo, what is up, guys? It is your boy runnerman 15 here, and today I wanted to make a small video. This is my fifth time doing this. Nothing, nothing can ever just work right the first time, right? There's always something. That's the story of my life. It's always something, right? Always something. Kind of like what we're gonna get into today. Anyways, let's get started with the video. If you guys haven't heard, I just want to make a video on this real quick. I know I'm like kind of late, like pretty late to this. But if you guys don't know, the first Crew game, if you don't know what the Crew is an online only MMO open world racing game. And if you really don't know what the Crew is, if you've never heard of it, basically it's a racing game. And one of the things that the Crew did that was really crazy at the time that this game came out was they've recreated the entirety of the United States in their end game map. Now, okay, not the entirety, but scaled version of the United States. That was your in-game map. So you could drive from New York to LA pretty much. Now, obviously it isn't 100% to scale, but pretty decent for a game from 2014. They were able to replicate the US pretty well in my opinion. And I still think the first Crew game has a better map than the Crew 2 and probably the Crew Motorfest. I don't know. I haven't played the Motorfest. I haven't played the Crew Snooze Fest yet. So, but yeah, if you guys haven't heard, the Crew is shutting down. The Crew and all of its DLC have been delisted from all stores. This is as of December 14th. They unlisted the game, they unlisted the DLCs, and on March 31st, 2024, the game will be shutting down permanently. Now, this means no one will be able to access the game, considering since this game is online only. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So, Ubisoft is such a great publishing studio. They care so much about anything but money, right? Well, they are shutting down the Crew, and it's a load of crap. The Crew, I don't know if you've ever played the Crew, but for anyone who's ever played the first Crew game, you'll know that you can play through the entirety of the game's story. There's a story mode that's the main part of the game. Entirety of the story, you can do all the side stuff, you can do all the like the skills and stuff on the map and whatnot, and all the collectibles and stuff. You can do that by yourself. There's no need for a multiplayer. There's no need for online only in a game like this. I like to compare the online only aspect of this game to Payday 3. Payday 3 launched with online only, and obviously they ran into some issues as the servers weren't able to support every single person that was joining in to play the game when it first released. So I like to compare the Crew a little bit to Payday 3, for example. It doesn't need to be online only. The only part that you really need an internet connection for, which, let me get this straight, you need an internet connection to play the game in the first place. But say you didn't need an internet connection to play, the only time you would really need to ever play with another online person is the multiplayer races and like the summit, and that's it. And in the summit, you don't even play against other people. You just do challenges to build up your score against other players. So you're not even playing with other people. You're playing by yourself still, or if you're in a crew, if you're in a party with other people, obviously you'd be playing with them. But Crew doesn't need to be online only. There's no reason for this game to be online only. So why did Ubisoft make this game online only? I don't know, ask Ubisoft. But pretty much on March 31st, no one will be able to play the game. Now this sucks for the people who paid like $70 for this game. People, this is not a free to play game. This was never a free to play game. You had to buy the Crew with real money. Yes, you had to buy it, which would mean that you would own the game, right? No, you don't own the game. Not according to Ubisoft, because they're basically taking away ability to play the game. After March 31st, you won't be able to load into the game. You could launch the game if you have it installed, but you're not going to get past the main menu. It's going to say can't connect to the server or whatever. So it's really just it's honestly just a slap in the face from Ubisoft for them to just do this to their customers, their consumers, their fans. I still feel like the Crew is probably the best Crew game. The Crew 2, boring. The Crew Motorfest apparently is also boring. I've actually had some fun playing the crew over the past few days. I bought the game right when I heard it was going to be unlisted. I had to go buy a Steam key for it, or not a Steam key. I had to buy a Ubisoft key for it. That was the only way that I could get the game since it was unlisted. The reason I'm making this video is because I wanted to talk about a few other things other than the game shutting down. First, I want to talk about, if you guys don't know, I make a video series called Cars in Different Video Games where I showcase a certain car in all of the video games that I can record it in. So, for instance, Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat in 21 different video games. I was able to record this car, the Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat, in 21 different video games, and these videos act as like a comparison. In for it acts like a comparison video. It showcases a certain car in a bunch of different video games. You get to compare each game, how they model their cars, how the car drives, how the car sounds. I think they're cool videos, and they're really fun to make. I enjoy making them. They're fun to make, but what's really sad to see when I'm making these kinds of videos is the lack of preservation in the racing game community. There are hundreds of racing games that have not been there's thousands of racing games that have not been preserved. A lot of mostly free to play stuff, like for instance, Racing Rivals. When I'm making these videos, when I'm making these Cars in Different Video Games series videos, I see Racing Rivals all the time. If you don't know what Racing Rivals is, it was a free to play mobile drag racing game. It was super popular. I played it myself back when it was pretty big. I played quite a bit of it, and they had to shut down the servers, which sucks. I agree that does suck, but it's different for a free to play game to shut down than a game that you actually paid money for. It's like Payday 3. If the developers of Payday 3 ever decide to close the game servers, no one's going to be able to play that game anymore. The people who paid for that game are going to be screwed out of their money because they won't be able to play the game that they paid for. So, the reason why I bought the game when I heard it was going to be unlisted, because I've never played the first Crew game up until now, just because I've never owned it. I never went out of my way to actually buy the game. The reason I did this was because so I can record all of the cars in the game. So I bought the game so I could record all of the cars. That way I can use the recordings from the crew to complete my other Cars in Different Video Game series. That way I wouldn't feel sad when I would get to a game, or when I would be doing a car and I would get to the crew and I'd be like, "Oh shit, well, I can't record in that game." It would give me the ability to add in footage. It would give me the ability to preserve content from the crew and make my videos better, my Cars and Different Video Games videos better. I just hate seeing games that I can't record gameplay footage of just because the game isn't alive anymore. It sucks when that happens because I'm like, I just really want to record the car in that game, and it just feels, I don't know, it just feels bad not being able to. When I have it all on my spreadsheet and then I see the game name, I see Racing Rivals, I'm like, oh, well, I can't do Racing Rivals, so I gotta mark that off. So that's the whole reason why I bought the crew. And it sucks that the game is shutting down, but I'm having an issue with the crew. If I open the Ubisoft Connect launcher, whatever you want to call this, and I go to games, we go to the crew. As you can see, I own all of the DLC in the game. The problem is I'm not able to access any of the DLC. I go in game, I've completed the prologue, I've played like 3-4 hours of the game already. I'm not able to access any of the DLC cards. And it seems to be some sort of bug. I'm assuming it's because I bought the game after they announced they were shutting down, and there's some sort of issue with the game not awarding players DLC for some reason. I don't know why it's like this. But yeah, I can't record any of the DLC cars, and there is quite a lot of DLC cars in this game. All of these packs have DLC cars in them. Like Stream Car Pack has like 4 cars. Like this game has like 3, 4 cars. All of these have a few different cars. So that's a bunch of cars I'm not going to be able to record because I can't access that content in game for whatever reason. So I'm having this issue, right? Which is making me even more angry because not only is the game going to shut down soon, but I can't even record all of the content I wanted to record in this game. So I've gone the route of So I went to Ubisoft support. So this is my case that I submitted with Ubisoft. It says, "Hi, I recently bought the Crew Complete Edition, but I'm not seeing any of the DLC cars in game. I've completed the prologue, and when I check my collection in the HQ and apply the DLC filter, no cars come up. Even when just looking through the collection normally, none of the DLC cars are there." So I submitted a ticket through Ubisoft. Obviously, they haven't responded. They probably won't respond for like until the game gets shut down. That's probably how long it'll take for them to respond. I've gone to Reddit. I made a Reddit post. It has 5 upvotes, and this is almost 12 hours old. Dude, almost 1,000 people have viewed this post. 5 upvotes. The only comment was from someone having the same exact issue as me. And I've also gone to their Discord. And their Discord is in shambles, by the way. But I've gone to their Discord. I made a post here, no upvotes. The only upvote is mine, is my own personal upvote. I found another support page where someone else is having the exact same problem with me. So you can see they own all of the DLC in game. This is all they see. This is exactly what I see when I pull up my mobile garage. And this is all I see when I go to my collection. I only have 5 cars. These 3 cars right here are Ubisoft Connect rewards. So you could buy them with like in-game points. The problem is the game gives this to you automatically just because, I don't know, the game just gives it to you automatically. So every person has these 3 cars, but no DLC cars. So, and then someone else commented the game will be closed 2024. A Ubisoft developer, or not developer, sorry, a Ubisoft support member has responded to this and says, "Hi, we are aware of some cases where the season pass content is missing and this has been passed on to the team." That's it. That's all we get. That's all we get from Ubisoft. This is the only response they've made to this. I've seen some other posts of people claiming that they don't have their DLC content, and I commented I'm having this issue too. So that's an issue that I'm having. If you guys have any suggestions for me, any advice, if you guys know what the issue is and how to solve it, please comment down below. If you guys have any ideas on how to fix it, please. I will take any idea, no matter how stupid it is, no matter how whatever it is. I am willing to do anything to get my DLC content. I'm willing to do anything to try and have some way of preserving this game. So that's great. Not only is the game shutting down, I don't have any of the DLC content that I paid for. That's the sad state of the world we live in today, as us gamers have to suffer through the big corporations not giving us consumers any choice. They just force us to give them money, and there's not much we can do about it. The only way you can get by paying the big corporations money is if you buy indie games or if you make your own video games to play. So yeah, I'm runnerman 15. If you like today's video, hit that like button. If you want to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button. Also hit that subscribe button because I've got a very interesting video on the way. It involves a laptop from 2007 and a certain distribution of Linux that is supposedly the end game for Linux distributions. And I've never installed Linux or used Linux before, so it'll definitely be a very interesting video. Hopefully be coming out within the next few weeks. I'll give you a hint as to what Linux distribution it is. It's going to take a long time to compile everything. So, yeah. Anyways, remember 15. I'll see you guys later.